We didn't know, my lord. For you to be a member of the EFF, you have to pay 10 rand, get a card, and that card gives you a status of a member. So there's no display of cards. There's no, the person in the main doesn't wear the EFF regalia. So membership is not a t-shirt. Membership is a card.
Then will you condemn those people that are singing that song?
No, I won't.
You won't?
No, I won't. You see, in Senegal, my brother, is that it's a community, those people you see there. It's a community protesting against white supremacists. They are agitated. They are angry at what the white supremacists have done in that court, where they broke into police station, chased the police away, broke into the court, fired guns in right on the face of two females who were managing the door at the court. And the people respond in a manner they did to show their displeasure at what happened. They never killed any poor. They were singing to show that they are angry. Do not take away the right of our people to show the white supremacists that they no longer have a place here in South Africa. So for me to condemn them will be to promote the white supremacists. So I'm not going to do that.
Why do you play this funny game? So those guys wearing EFF t-shirts, I can't see their cards. I don't know if they're EFF members, but it's also not going to condemn. Why play that game?
No, I'm not playing any game. Two things that you must get right. One, are those EFF members? I'm answering the question on membership, and I clarified to you what is a member of the EFF. For you to be a member, you must pay 10 rand. That 10 rand must be deposited and must have a card of the EFF. That's number one. Therefore, I said to my Lord, I can't say to my Lord, these are EFF members, without me confirming that they are members. Therefore, I can't with confidence say these are members of the EFF. That's number one. Number two, I say to you, this is a community. So it's a concoction of everything. I was in Senegal. We had white African right-wingers there. We had AfriForum members there, including some black AfriForum member who looks very familiar with that one who killed the boy, killed the farmer. He had changed himself. A black AfriForum member changed himself in Senegal. If you go there, you will see that. And then we even had the ANC at Senegal protesting. My Lord, we know those who engage in the struggle that for every protest, the regime, especially the white supremacists, will deploy agent provocateurs amongst our people to provoke us or to provoke the police. Now, for me to come here and say, these are our members, and that agent provocateur responds tomorrow on Twitter that Malema said I'm their member, I'm not their member. I can't say it's our member. But they sang the song. The context is they were angry with the actions of white supremacists, and they were justifiable to act in a manner they did. You're not going to tell them how they must be angry. They were very angry, but what we appreciate of that community is that they never took law into their hands. They used the song to demonstrate their displeasure at white right-winger racists who had showed the law in Senegal that they've got no regard for it.
I'm going to put a different proposition to you.
Sure.
So your proposition is that the reason why they were singing this song, charting this, was to show displeasure to vigilante group that attacked the court.
Yes.
Now, the reason why there was a court hearing in the first place is that Brendan Warner, 21-year-old, was murdered and his body was put on display on a pole. Now, he was a farm manager. the simple reading, and the crowd sings, kill the word.
Going to court. They were never part of the court. Until the court staff had to go and lock itself in a room where right-wingers, gangsterism went to break the court, where right-wingers turned the police van upside down and police were helpless. The people said, we will defend our institutions of democracy. And they did that. And when they arrived there, they were showing their displeasure. These people are angry at what these white right-wingers have done. And in showing their displeasure, you say they were celebrating. My Lord, after that, one, those white African right-wingers never went back to court to mess up the court. Two, our people never went back there because order was restored in Senegal. Police had given up and ran away. Our people went to defend their police, which is a revolutionary thing to do. When the democratic state is under attack by vigilantism, the people themselves have got a duty to take up the streets and make sure they defend the institutions of democracy. And I'm happy that I was leading from the front to restore order in Senegal against vigilante groups which were destroying the courts and the police station in Senegal. There is no celebration there. There is no single poster, my Lord, that can be shown on this video. What a good riddance. The BOER died. Good thing, happy. And when we celebrate, we bring all types of things, by the way. If you see us celebrating, there is trumpets, there is scoop, all types of things. We bring them together and we celebrate. So here, it's not a celebration, my Lord. It's an occupation of picket lines where people demonstrate their dissatisfaction with the conduct of Afrikaner vigilantism that displayed itself some few days before.
You started that speech by saying there are no farm murders.
Yes.
And no white people being murdered.
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
There are no farm murders, my Lord. There is murder. It's not directed at farmers. There is just a general killing of people in this country because the security of this country has collapsed. So you can't classify it like that, because then you are suggesting a certain group of people, because of their race, must be elevated over the matter that we see in the township.
That's not a suggestion. You don't, the way you phrased that, you said there are no white people being murdered. Let's talk about that.
No, there are no white people who are being murdered. There are no farmers who are being murdered. If you complete that speech, there is murder going on in this country because we are occupying a crime scene. South Africa has become a crime scene. So leave putting the race to it. To stop saying white people are being killed. Stop saying farmers are being killed. You must say our people are being killed. Yeah, there's a problem of murder.
Very strange, because your approach to our is to focus on racial sentiments, that black people are being targeted on colonial oppressors.
Yes.
You have no problem saying. But then you have people to say, well, these farmers are being attacked, and you identify farmers as being white people, then you want to deny it. Then you want to say, no, there's nothing to see here. Why?
Why black people were discriminated as a race. It was a conscious decision to discriminate black people as a race. And in dealing with that violent, racist attack on black people, you have to classify them as black people because they were discriminated as a race. In this context, my Lord, farmers and white people are not being killed for race purposes. They are being killed because crime is out of hand in South Africa. And to even equate that to the segregation of black people as a race, to what I'm talking about, that there is no program, there is no conscious decision taken anyway that farmers and white people must be killed. There is just general problem of crime, there's a problem of murder, and it's increasing, and police are failing to handle it.
I'd like to refer you then to the evidence of Mr. Russ. You can turn to, I was 202 2 of the bundle, page 164 of the book.
Other matters. I didn't hear him to be saying, I'm diminishing all the other matters. He said there are generally matters in the country. In fact, he says this country is a crime scene.
Yeah.
Yes, so I think put it
Put it clearly that, first of all, is it your contention that there's a murder bomb in the zone? Is it your contention that there's a problem with murder?
Yes. Yes.
Now, I'm giving you 2 examples in case if they were all about individuals. Of people that were murdered with racial motives on the ground because they were white. Do you accept that it could be a reason to murder someone with a racial hatred because someone was white?
You see, one, the book you are reading from is badly written and is not peer-reviewed and therefore cannot be used as an authority. 2, in the same book, the discredited book that uses this court to sell itself, said, I've got a Facebook page where I wrote things on my Facebook. It is not disputed here, my lord, that I've got no Facebook page and therefore I could not have written the things that the book says I've written. So this book has got no authority, none whatsoever. No, but you read to me a book, am I answering that book? Yes. So you bring a book here that is so discredited and written by a non-thinker, and you want me to engage with a person with a brain the size of a peanut. I cannot do that. There is no problem of white people being killed. There is no problem of farmers being killed, my lord. Because if you want to use that in comparison with black people during apartheid, it was a system desire to kill our people. The wars of dispossession, the 1976 June 16 uprising, the riots of the 80s, the system attacked our people and killed them. Now, in this case, there is no system that said, we now are going to kill white people.
Well, Mr. Malema, can I just interrupt you? I think let's focus on the question so that we can finish.
Yes.
I really want to finish this matter by the end of this week because I've got other commitment that I've got to take on next week. And if this end up in a reserve judgment, the reserve part head, it's something that I would hate to do. I don't like part heads. I think the question, maybe if you permit me, Mr. Oppenheimer, Mr. Malema, I think the proposition or the points made to you is that we hear your point about the status of the book. We've noted that. But the point that's been put to you is that in this book, it has been reported that in April 2010, Mr. Kukemu, who, when you read from the book, it suggests that he was a farmer. On June 2014, Knowledge Paulos Mdanzi admitted having murdered a white farmer. So that's the question that now is being asked to you. In the context of you having said there are no white farmers being killed, what's your response to that?
That's supposed to be a decision by the system that we are going to kill white farmers. There is no any establishment that has taken a conscious decision to engage on the killing of white farmers. There will be individuals informed by acts of criminality who engage in those types of activities. And therefore, it cannot be generalized, my lord, to a point where the UN must be addressed that there is a problem of murdering white farmers in South Africa as if there was an institutional decision to do so.
Yes, Mr. Pena.
Let me ask you a simple question. It seems like you can have institutional discrimination and you can have individual act of discrimination. Is that correct?
No, it's an individual act of criminality.
Can an individual have a racist intent and act of?
Absolutely, like the one who wrote the book.
Now, is it the case that your denial is a very broad denial? There are no white people being killed. You now want to say, well, what I mean by that is there's no gigantic system in place which calls for orchestrated killing of my people to pull it back. That's what you're doing, really.
I never said, no, this matter. No, I never said that.
Yes, my parents.
Again, your lordship will refer to this idea of distortion. This question was put to the witness earlier. His response was, you play a short clip which does not give a context. You play what you want to play, and you do not allow the video to run so that in full context. Because the witness says, immediately after saying what you are quoting, I qualified that by saying there's a general criminal problem of murders in general. So the idea that there's no farm murders and there's no white murders is that you seem to isolate out of what is a general problem, which is of murder. And that's the context the witness gave. To now suggest that all you said was that it's misleading. Now then, that speech was shown in court, 20-minute speech. The salient portion of the purpose is that Mr. Malema issues two denials. So what is he says, there are no farm murders and no white people are being murdered. In court, he then says, I'm going to gloss that, I'm going to downplay it, I'm going to say something different. And my point is, it's not you said to the crowd. So you can say advocating it. You get to say the outrageous things to the crowd. And then in front of these cameras, in front of this court, you can present yourself as someone confident. And definitely gain into a night.
I never said I'm someone moderate. I'm very radical and very militant. And I make no apology about that. And I stand by everything I said. My Lord, let them play you the whole video. I said, and I remember it very well, there is no farm murder. There are no white people being murdered in South Africa. There is a crisis of murder in South Africa. And this thing of elevating the killing of white people as if it's more important than other people who are being killed in the township, it's wrong. Let them play the whole video. And not even the whole video. Just from where they cut it, I take it further there. Because if you check where they cut it, it's not thank you. So he wants to create an impression that I say something else outside and I come here and say something else. I'm saying the same thing consistently from when I was in Congress of South African Students. Everything I say, I said it when I was still young. And I keep on repeating it because they've not been achieved the strategic objective of the revolution. So never create any doubt that I will come here and change. No. Play the whole video. You will hear me saying that South Africa has got a problem of murder.
Now, you're playing again here, where you want to say this is elevating the murder of white people to some higher status. But actually what it is that you're doing is downplaying it. I saying, well, other people are murdered in other areas, we shouldn't pay particular attention to this.
I'm not downplaying it. Murder is murder. It knows no kind. And therefore, all of murder cases must be dealt with as such, whether white or black. That's what your client is seeking to do, to elevate and create an unnecessary panic. My Lord, this is how the AfriForum exists. It creates the state of panic amongst the white minorities, and then say we're taking these people head on, donate money. And that's how they make their money. They create unnecessary panic amongst white people. So if you take that clip like that, and then you circulate it amongst your constituency, and say this is what we want to stop, please donate money. Then they make money like that. They make money out of scaring the white minority, even on matters that are simply explained. This video is an example of such. It can't be played, all of it, because it defeats your racist agenda.
We have played it.
Where we show that in South Africa, you know, the women and the children, the numbers are way bigger than the numbers we're talking about.
We're backing and forth on this issue. His version is that the video has been played in full, including what it says immediately after where he suggests it's been cast.
But Mr. Kasiboto, the issue of the video seems to like a side issue. The witness has said, I've said what I've said in the video, I said previously and I'll say it again.
No, but the point is this, Your Lordship. He's saying, immediately after the video, he qualified what is being attributed to him. And he's saying the video does not show that part. There's the open hand up. The suggestion is this: play the video up until the point the witness suggests.